Well, hello everybody. I figured I'd go over this since I haven't. It's the sign in, sign out sheets that were created first when Sergeant Orth arrived on the property. Pam Magod calls the Calumet County Sheriff's Department around 10:30. Says that she's on the property and she just found a vehicle. If you listen to the Manitowoc transmissions, Sergeant Orth is the first officer to arrive on the property. He states that he's being flagged down by two females. He also says it in the audio, so he confirms what he wrote down there. Upon, we'll just read this. Case 8844, completed by Sergeant Jason North, the Manitowoc Sheriff's Office, number 452. I, Sergeant North, proceeded onto the property in question, Avery property, and was flagged down by two white females. The females directed me to the vehicle in question, green 1999 Toyota SUV with the VIN JT3HP10V5X7113044. 11:01, Sergeant North approached the vehicle. I walked along the passenger side and looked through the passenger windows. I did not observe any persons. I walked around the back of the vehicle and walked to the driver's side front fender while attempting to view the VIN number. Lieutenant Herman, Manitowoc Sheriff's Office, and Detective Remaker approached the rear of the vehicle. Then, I guess Sergeant Orth stepped away because then Remaker started to view the VIN number standing from the front driver's side fender. Sergeant Orth, looked into the rear window. I observed a piece of paper with the missing person's name written on it. They also say that they appeared in the window and they seen a scan disc card with her name on it. So, who knows what's... Now, this is when Herman relieved Sergeant Orth. And then Sergeant Orth was relieved again 5 minutes later by Herman. And then 35 minutes later, Herman relieved Sergeant Orth. And then 5 minutes later, Sergeant Orth relieved Herman. Then Deputy Cummings from the Manitowoc Sheriff relieved Sergeant Orth at 2:45. 3:12, two brand new tarps were placed on the vehicle. The following persons placed the tarps on it: Detective Dennis Jacobs, Thomas Fassbender, Alan Huntseater, Sergeant Tyson, Jennifer Bass, Gary Steer. 15:15 hours, Jennifer Bass relieved Sergeant Tyson. Tyson works for the Calumet County Sheriff's Department. 15:51, Deputy Prang, Manitowoc Sheriff's Office, took this log. Over, Sergeant Orth left the scene. Sergeant John Jones, State Patrol. Trooper Tim Austin, State Patrol. John Dietering, Fassbender, Huntseater. Julie Kramer with Dog Brutus, Detective Jacobs, Greg Zahn, and John Ertl. Now we'll go to the log that Fassbender started taking when his arrived at 2:25. Jacobs must have left because he's coming back at 2:32 along with Sergeant or Detective John Dietering. Eagle 3 is the helicopter. Craig Sipple. Remaker, along with DA Ken Kratz, Wiegert, are all arriving. Greaseback and Roar are coming in. Again, the helicopter comes. Deputy O'Connor, he was one of the first ones also on the property. Well, actually, he parked at the end of Avery Road at 147, and Sergeant Orth is the first one to enter the property when he's flagged down by Nicole and Pam. Jeffrey, that's the Calumet County Assistant District Attorney. 8:01, that would be Mr. Pagel. Alright, 4 o'clock, 4:07, both district attorneys leave. John Ertl, Greg Zong, and all of them arrive. Both the DAs come back. Great Lakes Search and Rescue show up at 4:46. Sergeant Colburn arrives. This was his day off. He is dispatched to do security at the checkpoint in Jambo Creek at 147. Upon his arrival, he's then instructed to go directly to the command post, which then he's placed on a team that then enters Stephen Avery's house and garage. Now we got Josh Redon and Travis Grohl signing in. And now they're leaving. Now this looks like it was penciled in. Dennis Jacobs leaving out. I don't know. Just seems weird that all these names are spaced out nicely and then his is just squeaked in there. Nick Mertzberger is the man that was contacted to tow the RAV4 off the property to the crime lab. Dan Novak was there to open the crusher. We got Dennis Jacobs signing in again. Colburn signing in again. But I don't remember him signing out, so. Now we got Maribel Fire Chief Paul Robas. He arrives. Great Lakes Search and Rescue leaves. Dennis Jacobs comes back, along with 5 minutes later, Paul Rabas is now there to remove the car. Ken Kratz is back. Paul Rabas is leaving. Now Nick Mertzberger is leaving en route to the crime lab at 8:42. It takes him a lot longer than it should have for them to get there. Now we got Roar and Pagel coming on. Now, if you listened on my channel, there I played this. The assistant attorney general is calling to talk to Mark Roar, and he needs to talk to him as soon as possible. You also have Pagel calling, requesting Peg's Slaughter's phone number. Link, Remker, and Colburn all leave together. Then Jacobs leaves. And then DA Roar and Assistant DA for Calumet County, Jeff Froelich. Alright, now we're on to the 6. Dennis Jacobs arrives first. We got a whole bunch of fire department because they're researching vehicles on this day. Colburn and them were popping trunks around the Avery, Stephen Avery's trailer. All the cars were on there. Yeah, we got Mark Roar coming in and out. 7:24. We got Sergeant Colburn and Link. Every time Link and Colburn, they seem to arrive like right either together or right after each other. We got Dennis Jacobs leaving. We got dog search teams coming in for the second day. They were also sent to search other areas, but we don't have that full report. We just have the report of them going to the Twin Bridge Road sighting of a vehicle. I'm sure they took the dogs to the turnaround and other locations because there's only 2 pages of a 32-page report. Again, these are all fire departments coming in, coming out. Jim Reese, he's along with Trooper Austin and Judge, they're involved with taking all the photos. Ken Kratz arrives around noon. It's now been about 25 hours since they found the car on Avery's. We got John Dietering leaving, Dennis Jacobs out. Dennis Jacobs coming back. Todd Herman. Dennis Michicott Fire Department. I wonder if these were related to Remaker. Probably is. Wouldn't doubt it. John Dietering, Jacobs, District Attorney leaves, Froelich leaves. We got Paul Robas coming in, and his brother Eugene. Jay Pagel, Dennis Rabas, so that's 3 Rabases on the property now. Jacobs, Roar, and Froelich arrive again. John Syme, Julie Kramer, Robert Great Lakes, Search and Rescue, they're now leaving. Probably going to other locations because it's still going to be light out for another hour and a half. Crime Lab arrives, Jarno, Chuck Gates, Greg Zong. We got another K9 unit arriving. 2 of them. There's multiple dog teams. It's amazing how many people they had. Oh, we got Deb Strauss arriving. She called on Friday night and said that she had dirt on Stephen Avery and she could help out. Froelich, Roar, they're leaving. Remaker, Colburn, out. Dietering, Jacobs. All the dog teams are leaving. See, it's about to get dark out. That's why. Get dark's about 5:30, 5:20. Still the 6th. Got Josh Verdant coming in the property. More K9 response teams. And they're leaving again. Lots of dogs. All there. The 5th, the 6th, the 7th, the 8th. Not the 9th. No, is this Calumet County DA? Is that Kratz or is that Froelich? Carla and Barb Avery show up to get the meds for Dolores. They're let in. They're there for what? Seven, 10, 30 minutes. Capitani. 817, John Dietering. 209 is Detective Jacobs and the District Attorney Mark Rohr. Seemed like Greaseback only came there one day and said, "Nope, I want nothing to do with this." Alright, here we go. The infamous day, 11/7/2005. Josh Radot shows up, 6:59 in the morning. They gave him permission to work in part of the quarry. You hear on the morning of the 6th that they're calling because they want to know if they're supposed to be working because they're running the crusher. So he was allowed to keep his business open during all this, most part. All right, we got Link, Colburn, Jacobs. Besides these three, one more, Remaker. Those are the four that responded on the 3rd when she was reported missing at 2:37 p.m. We got Todd Herman, brother of Rob Herman, a former Manitowoc sheriff, arriving with Michael Bushman. Now they arrive at 7:38. Pay attention. You got Jason Jost and Dave Siders. They arrive. All right. Deb Strauss arrives, 8:13. Jason Jost leaves. Ryan Hilgis and Scott Lordan show up. Now he tells reporters that, they've never been on the property. Never. Well, you lied. Now, we got Michigan ambulance arriving. Notice how they list who's driving it. Ryan Hilgis and Scott Lordan leave. They're there for, what? Not even an hour. Shortly after, Deb Strauss leaves. Ryan Gilbert, why I have his name highlighted, he's the one that calls Manitowoc Dispatch about a flyer that he's seen posted up at the Cenex and wants to know if it happens to be that Carmen girl. And she informs him, no, that definitely isn't the missing girl because that was her neighbor that died. We got Fosk arriving. She's accompanied with Loof. Diener and Jacobs leave. Prior to that, Sheriff Pago leaves. He arrives. Colburn, Link, and Bill Tyson. This is where Cuss Road is discovered. You read in the reports that Tyson, Link, and Colburn were collecting firearms from the Dassey and Avery residences when they got called over to Cuss Road, 11:06. Now, if you listen to that audio later on in the call, we got Colburn pretty much instructing the whole thing, damn near. He's the one that's telling them to put a roadblock at the end of Q Clings and Cuss. Sheriff Fosk and Rick Reamer leave. And then come back. Alright, notice how when the fire department arrived, they listed who was in the vehicle. Well, it's 12:20. It's a Michigan Fire Rescue. Why isn't there a time in or out on here? Siders leaves. He's gone for about 20 minutes. He comes back accompanied with Bushman. Now, anywhere in here did you see Bushman sign out? That's why I've been underlining things. We got Bushman signs in the morning, 7:38 with Todd Herman. Everybody else, Herman signs out a few times. Siders does. Bushman does not. And it's not the only time. So we got Bushman signing back in with Siders, along with the whole everybody. Rob Herman, Todd Herman, Pagel, Fassbender, Dieterine, Bushman's, Colborn, Link, Tyson. Herman signs out. Joe now signs back in. Jacobs leaving. Roar arrives. Roar leaves. Herman's leaving. Joe leaves again. Colburn and Link are leaving. Kratz arrives. So, then we got another Rabas coming on the property. This is Michael Bushman signing in again, once again. He did not sign out again. So that's him signing in twice, or 3 times, but never leaving. He signed in the morning, he signed in at 12:50, and he signed in again at 4:14. We got Ryan Hilligus and Scott Blodorn arriving back on the property. They were there about 8 something in the morning for about an hour. Came back in 4:30. Siders and Bushman are leaving, so he signs out finally for the last time and never comes back. Now remember, he came with the officer. He must not have drove himself. He must have been riding with Herman because he's leaving with another officer. Deb Strauss leaves. Now Todd Herman. That's who he arrived with, so yeah. Herman comes back. Strauss is back. Strauss leaves. Siders comes back. Oh. Did we see Bushman sign in? Oh, that's right. We didn't. It happened again. Now he's signing out again. Once again, signing out without signing in. I don't understand this. That's why we don't have nearly as much audio from Manitowoc as we do Calumet, because it's all been edited. Just like Calumet County edited the flyover, Manitowoc edited their audio. If Remacher wouldn't have slipped up and Buting cross-examining him in the pretrial, we wouldn't even have the audio that we have now. Now we're on the 8th. Colburn and Link arrive. This is the day they find the key, the plates. Sheriff Foss comes back. Andrew Beck, Dave Siders, Deb Strauss, Dennis Jacobs, accompanied with John Dieterine, Jason Jost. Deb Strauss again. Dave Sider, Andrew Beck, Jason Jost, Craig Shetter, Reichner is the one that mentioned to Pagel that it'd be a conflict of interest if they were lead investigators on the case. So then he assigned Wiegert and Fassbender as the lead investigators on the case. Wiegert because he'd been working the case from day one. Lots of Wisconsin State Patrol members there. A whole bunch of them. Pagel's in, out, Herman, all of them. Same people all the time. All they had to do is eliminate 2 officers, and there'd have been no problems. If Lincoln Colburn wouldn't have been on the property whatsoever, wouldn't have had no problems, because those are the only 2 officers on the property that were involved in that lawsuit that Stephen had brought against Manitowoc County Sheriff and the District Attorney. Alright, this is the 8th. Barb Yonda shows up with Stephen Avery. To get some keys, according to what you hear in the dispatch call. Says, I got Stephen Avery at Jambo Creek checkpoint with some blonde with glasses. Apparently they're here to get some keys. They let Barb right in, and they're accompanied with Barb. And this is after they found the key. Jacobson leaves. Crime Lab's out. Wiegert's out. The 9th. The one day there are no dogs on the property whatsoever. This is the day that they have to expand the crime scene by 2 miles. Andrew Colburn, James Link, right on clockwork, together. And then they leave. All 3 of them together. They must have went and dropped Jacobs off somewhere. They came back by themselves. Oh, yep, see Jacobs came back. They probably took him to go get his patrol car. Nope, they're all leaving again now. Now Colburn comes back. Then Link comes back. Then Jacobs come back. Then Cheddar. Deb Strauss arrives. Cheddar arrives. Colburn and Link leave. Kim Sklarinsky. Greg Cheddar. Wendy Baldwin. Sarah Fausk. She's leaving. That's odd. There's no dog reports for the 9th whatsoever, but Sarah Fausk was there. And again, we are missing them 30 pages, so who's to say what? And it's odd that we don't have pictures from Wisconsin State Patrol for the 9th or the 8th. 8th, 9th, or 10th. At least that I haven't seen. I might be wrong. I know there's no photos for the 9th that I've seen. I've seen screenshots of video clips, but that doesn't timestamp anything. Oh yeah, this is the morning of the 10th. Now you hear them referencing finding bones everywhere and expanding the crime scene. Says we're going to need about 50 plus Wisconsin State Troopers. So let's start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 1, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64. So you get my point. A lot. Makes me wonder if Stephen's defense had this audio, and if they did, they didn't do anything with it. I believe this is the last time James Link signs out of the property and he never comes back. Colburn's last time there was on the 9th. Ken Kratz, Andrew Beck, Greg Shetter, Andrew Beck, Greg Shetter, So Jason Jost is now taking over the sign in, sign out logs. Convenient he didn't initial. No more Jacobs, no more Colborn, no more Link. No more Jacobs. Greg Shetter. That's pretty much it. Oh, Link. No, We got the Rabas Garage. Oh, we're into coming up towards the end. They're about to release the property. That's directly north of Stephen Avery's trailer on 147. Across the street, in the driveway across the street from their residence, they found a item that Colburn was requesting Dr. Crowley, I believe, to be paged ASAP. They give the coordinates on the dispatch call, or as a transmission. Just boggles my mind how Bushman keeps signing in, but he's never signing out. You're hearing that transmission calls that Bushman has been put on another assignment. Well, he was made team leader of Team A. There's 4 teams, A, B, C, and D. He had Team A. But on his notes, he writes that he's on Jambo Creek, but I don't know. Like I say, audio tells a completely different story. Alright. That's just notes. All the fire personnel, Wiegert got a list of everybody that he wanted that was on the property. Andy Pitson, wonder if he's related to Kelly. Dennis Hallbach works for the fire department. Nancy Hallbach, Kelly Pitson. These are all the searcher volunteers that were going to be searching on the Now this is the Q Queen's cuss, or Q in 147 checkpoint. This is the it's amazing how you just put things together just like that. Bam. Yonder. Trespassing. Yep, Gaux and Fennel. Gary Halbach, Debbie Halbach, Tom Jost, Shelley Jost. This is either most likely this is from the checkpoint on Q in 147 because the freeway is right there. You'd have to take a hell of a detour if you wanted to come in on the Jambo Creek side. And further along in the investigation, they started blocking off other roads. Old Y, 1112. See, this don't make no sense either, because at 1857 or 1904, on the 12th, the property was released at 10:30 in the morning. So, and the beginning of this says it's the 8th, so nothing makes sense. See, Racine released at 11:30, so y'all tell me, what do y'all think? Salvation Army, Q and Fisherville Road, they set up a roadblock there too. We're down to employees. Vanderwars and the Schneiders lives on Cuss Road, along with the Spring Tubes, the Richmonds, Janessa Fabian, in to go home, into out to work, generator fuel. Yep, you hear him calling in. Joshua Don. This is at the vehicle location site from 4 to 23:21. John Jones, Timothy Austin, State Patrol Measurements, State Crime Lab, Greg Zong, Vehicle Transport, Paul Ramos, Tow Vehicle. So what is Nick Mersberg travel trailer for the vehicle transport? Dietering's checking the generator. Again, this is where Sergeant Orth started keeping his log. Let's do this. This is trunk searches for the 6th, Uyghur talks about them generating a lead sheet so they could go back and look at the leads that Manitowoc was getting, the leads that they were getting, and see if any of them relate or one would rule out another. Another note, this is facts from Manitowoc Sheriff's Department to Calumet. "11:04, they confirmed the VIN. Remberker arrived at 10:58, 10:59, one of the two. Photo card on rear seat. Now, if you read what Orth wrote in his report, he says it was a piece of paper. It's sent Marinette County to Avery property, High Lane. Wendy Baldwin calls because she just heard Wiegert saying he's en route to Avery's, and she heard sirens in the back of it. Stephen's cell phone number, 323-4038. Avery left 6:30 in the morning. They obtained this information from, I'm assuming, Earl. 11:35, PJ's told to contact Crime Lab. .496 is contacting the district attorney, which was Michael Griesbach. He showed on the property first. It's followed by Rohr, and then Kratz and Froelich. 12:55, interview with Earl completed. 1:04, Kratz, Calumet County DA arrived. Detective Ballman from Queso, 10-2. Barbara tries. Barbara next to Steve, Chuck. No sightings. Dolores, Al. Leave. Scene to Queso, DCI, 11:45. Detective Cheddar. So I guess at 11:45, Detective Cheddar mentions to Pagel that conflict of interest, and that's when he John Ertl, Crime Lab, en route shortly. 12:05, witness now shortly, leaving shortly. So around noon, that's when Pam and Nicole leave. So they're there for what? 3 hours roughly. And then Mr. Griesbach shows up. And then the interview with Earl with Wiegert. Wonder why Walden's crossed out. Queso paralegal received call from 487 PO info from Jody jail. 2:04, they're at the Fox residence getting the search warrant signed. 4:10, DA Kratz and Queso in charge of case, assigned special prosecutor. 215, Fox offices, judge. They get the search warrant signed. Judge is signing paperwork. Search warrant signed. 310. 314. They leave for the Fox office to the DA, Kratz, Uyghur to Avery property. You hear, and if you've listened on my channel, you hear Griesbach referring about the papers when he drops them off. He might have left something there. Remaker 278 with Uyghur and Kratz at Avery's, out at the residence. Out of his house, then into the garage, out of the garage. They weren't in there very long. Didn't find nothing. Out of Steve Grenadier's driveway, they found a pair of glasses that were broken. Message and bar beyond his answering machine. And now we got the March 1st. I'm going to continue that a different time.